London is one of the most culturally vibrant cities in the world. The UK capital is in the top 5 largest urban economies in the world. Its residents have the highest gross median weekly pay in the UK. London attracts students from other parts of the country and is a magnet for students from abroad. We've decided to find out what it's like to seek employment in one of the world's most competitive job markets. Our main character, Eliot Hastie, has just had his graduation ceremony after completing a bachelor degree course in radio production at the University of Westminster. It's July and Eliot is actively looking for a job in the media industry. We've asked him to tell us more about student life in London.
London's so expensive just to do anything, but I don't know, I found that, I think I'm lucky in the sense that because I'm a waiter, I deal with cash all the time. That's all I have is like tips cash, but I think, and I live, like I said, zone 5, which means I'm away from everything, but it does mean that you do get quite good pricing. But with things like, I don't go out drinking as much as I used to in Australia because it's just so much more expensive. If I was living on a salary, it'd be a bit different, just because I wouldn't have the cash that I'm used to, but a salary jobs, for me, is better than staying as a waiter, just because I'm tired of hospitality after 3 years in it. And there's people that do it for 30, I'm just like, oh God, no, get me out.
So how do you start looking for a job? And are there enough jobs for university graduates on the market?
Well, I think it's not about having enough jobs, it's about how hard you can push yourself really. It's up to the person. There's jobs out there to get, but how hard are you ready to work to push yourself to get those jobs? That's the question.
There's two sort of theories, I think, with a lot of people. It's just apply for everything. The more you have out there, the better it's going to be. But for me, obviously, I want a sponsorship, but I'm trying to do it in 6 months. So most people can't do it in a year or whatever. So you would think that I would just be sending out all the ones I can, but it's also a fact of if I'm going to work at a company for sponsorship, that means I've got to work there for quite a long time. I want it to be somewhere I'm going to enjoy.
The level of employment has gone low. It's not the same which it used to be 10 years before. So now it's very difficult to find a job, a good job with a lot of degrees too.
I look at a bit of everything. So I go from like social media content or to entertainment editor. Like I look for anything that is in the realm that I might enjoy. Especially if I go back home to Australia, I want to be able to have a CV and they go, oh, I actually know that place. Like that's a name I recognise. Obviously, when I was still at uni, we had to look for internships, and that's sort of how I got onto all these job websites. Milk Round, whatever, Go Think Big, Gorkana, Media R, Media Directory, and good old Twitter. And then I filter it by London, just because I want to stay in London. I don't want to move up to, I don't even know where Bournemouth is, so I don't want to move there.
Because I found that with the freelance roles, although it was excellent to gain skills and learn on the job, the pay isn't as good, and it's also a lot of hard work. And with my situation being married and sort of young, I thought that maybe an entry-level job with a higher pay grade would be more beneficial in my case.
It's like obviously being new to the country and being new to journalism and just a graduate, I'm like, what's the salary I can be expecting? And at the moment, as a waiter, I'm earning, maybe over 10, maybe in a year. So anything above like 10 is awesome. Telegraph, Evening Standard, Metro, etc. I'm not a big fan of their writing and stuff, but if the Sun offered me a job, I'd probably be like, yeah, why not? Like, I'm not in a position as a graduate to be, oh no, that's not what I want to do. It's like anything can get, I'd probably take, yeah.
I've been applying since I've started with this course, but the problem is we have in Tier 4 we have a visa issue of just working 20 hours per week, which will not let us to do internships here because internships need more than 20 hours per week. Plus, if we want to do a good job here, we can't do a good job because 20 hours is not enough a week to do a better job.
And with a lot of companies, that scares them off. As an Australian, they're like, oh, well, you might eventually need a visa from us or whatever. So I find that that does kind of, you shoot yourself in the foot just because you're international, and it's a bit annoying. Most websites will send you the stock standard, thank you for applying, blah, 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 we hope to get back to you, blah, blah, blah. And it's just, even when one of them did contact me back, and I was like, sorry, who are you? When did I apply for you? Just because you do so many, you kind of lose track of it. And when they do actually respond, you're like, oh, not expecting that. But you just got to learn to not really expect a reply.
In our next episode, we follow Eliot on his journey, while our current and recent graduates give tips on how to apply for work.